There's been some exciting baseball played so far this weekend in Chicago. A couple of one-run games, and today the Reds and Cubs will square off in the deciding game of the three-game set from Wrigley Field, and it's coming up on Fox Sports Ohio. And hi again, everyone, with Chris Welsh, Jim Day, and the Reds are going to win this rubber game of the three-game set. They got a tough assignment here today. But Luis Castillo, they hope, is the same Luis Castillo they saw last time out.
Well, the first thing they need to do is to change your momentum back in their favor, because they certainly lost that yesterday when they gave up 5 runs, ended up losing that game by 1, 8-7. So you've got to say that the Cubs have some momentum coming into today. They've got John Lester going, so it all does sit on the shoulders of Luis Castillo. Castillo coming off a very rough month of June. He pitched 5 times. He gave up at least 3 runs in every one of his starts. But, you know, the guy's very capable. You never really know what you're going to be able to do. What he did against the White Sox there on Monday was outstanding. Did not walk a batter in his 6 2/3. So hopefully Castillo now is beginning to feel a little more confident on the hill.
He'll face Javier Baez in the middle of that lineup, and he was a big part of the Cubs' comeback yesterday.
Well, you cannot leave a ball out over the plate against Baez. He's got some of the best bat speed of anybody in the league. He's got good plate coverage, except when you go down and away. And if he starts pulling the ball, that means you got to come in to show him inside and then go back down away. The guys are one of the most exciting players in the game.
You mentioned John Lester. He is the anchor of the starting staff in Chicago and putting together yet another terrific season.
Well, he's a pitcher of the month for the month of June. He also hit a home run his last time out. So he's tied for the league in wins with 11. He's a guy that just comes right after you, mainly with hard stuff. If you're a left-handed hitter, you know what you can look for. Fastball, cutter. If you're a right-hander, he's going to mix a couple of change-ups in. But for the most part, he keeps the ball down around the knees, and he's been very successful doing so.
And he will face the hot-hitting Eugenio Suarez in the middle of that lineup, riding a 10-game hitting streak.
You know, he uses the entire field. He hits a low pitch. He hits a high pitch. He's good at the breaking ball. He's seeing the ball really well right now. I mean, here's what you're looking at, in my opinion, is the Reds' best player on the field. And hopefully he's going to be able to continue to carry this ball club. He moves up a spot in the order with a left-hander on the mound.
Confidence is a major part of this game. Winning the finale of series, well, the Reds should have some confidence today. About that story and more, Jeff Pecoro on deck from Wrigley Field in Chicago.
your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Buy Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. And step up to GMC with nearly $4,000 purchase cash on an Arcadia Denali when you finance through GM Financial. Well, the first two games of the series were fun. A lot of runs scored in that first game. Tyler Malley had a very nice outing as he goes 6 2/3 of 104 strikeout baseball. Did a nice job holding them at bay. And then offensively, Adam Duvall had a big RBI single as the Reds win Game 1. And then yesterday, the Reds had themselves a 7-2 lead, but the Cubs came back. They got 4 in the 8th inning. Ben Zobrist and Anthony Rizzo with the big RBI hits in that one. And the Cubs come from behind, and they picked up the victory. Welcome back into Wrigley Field. A beautiful day here. Now, it's the rubber match. The Reds have been so good. As a matter of fact, they haven't lost in quite some time in the final game of a series. And it's our Elk and Elk storylines for today. They started the season 6-12 in series finales, but they've won their last 9 straight, dating all the way back to June 7th. Of those 9 wins, 3 wins were to win a series, 3 were to sweep series, and 3 to avoid a series sweep. The Reds are won or tied each of their last 5 series. Let's hear what they have to say about winning on the final day.
It's a good way to finish the series, so you know, it's important to get on the road off of a win. So, as we say, happy flight.
Always makes for a better flight when you win on getaway day. And, of course, it's going to be a tall task for the Reds with John Lester. But if they do, I'm sure one guy that's going to be right in the middle of it is Scooter Gennett. And he has been so good all season long. We are going to head back to the studio for more on Scooter Gennett and his Baz.
retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
I gotta tell you, we couldn't have asked for 3 better weather days for baseball, as the 3rd straight matinee here in Chicago about to ensue. Reds and Cubs here on Fox Sports Ohio. And thanks for taking time to join us on your Sunday afternoon. And here's the Reds lineup. There's Jose Peraza. He'll lead off. Tucker Barnhart in the number 2 spot. Votto, Suarez, and Jeanette are 3, 4, and 5 today. Duvall's in left. Winker in right today. The pitcher spot is 8th, and Billy Hamilton will bat 9th and play center field. Reds have seen plenty of John Lester over the years, and he's one of those imposing figures. 4-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion in his 4th season in Chicago, and it's been a good one so far.
Well, he is one free agent signing that the Cubs made that has not disappointed in any of the years he's taken the mound. He is 11-2 this year, just coming off a tremendous month of June where he was named the National League Pitcher of the Month. And the guy keeps it very simple. I mean, he keeps the ball down in the zone. He throws strikes, although maybe not as many strikes as you think he does. He gets a lot of guys to chase pitches just a little bit off the plate. Cutter, slider, fastball, that's his main weapons.
Last time out, his 7th straight win, Sunday versus Minnesota, although he did allow 4 runs, only 2 earned in 5 innings. And as you said in the open, Chris, also hit a home run, a 3-run home run, 2nd of his career. And National League ranks this season 1st in wins, 1st in win percentage. The 2.25 ERA is 2nd best in the National League. And again, riding a 7 consecutive win streak here today. Cubs came back big time yesterday to win yesterday's ball game. The Reds had leads of 5-0 and 7-2. But credit the Cubs with 4 in the 8th to win it 8-7. The Reds winners of 5 of their last 6 against the Cubs. 14 of 19 games overall. Jim Riggleman's squad, and Jose Peraza will step in. And Lester into the windup, and we are underway from Wrigley. '81-degree game time temperature, so a bit hotter here today. But again, not a cloud in the sky as Peraza pops it up. That is Baez. Nope, he'll give way to the center fielder Almora. 1 out. And here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Cubs this afternoon. Schwarber in left, Almora in center. Hayward back in the lineup after being removed from yesterday's game after fouling a pitch off himself. Happ, Russell, Baez, Rizzo. And Wilson Contreras, after a day off in the starting lineup yesterday, back behind the dish for Lester. And first pitch to Tucker Barnhart. And first pitch swinging. And it's a one hopper and 2 outs. So 3 pitches and 2 outs here for Lester. And he'll go to work against Joey Votto. Votto, a .296 batter, 8 home runs, 44 RBIs. It continues to lead the National League in on-base percentage. And far and away the leader in that category. He first pitch swings. Baez, 3 up, 3 down for Lester. Cubs coming up. Play we will see going forward. And here's the Cubs lineup today. Albert Almora Jr. will lead off. Hayward in the 2 spot. 3, 4, and 5 are Baez, Rizzo, and Contreras. Middletown's Kyle Schwarber. Ian Happ at third base again today. Addison Russell at shortstop, and batting 9th and pitching, John Lester. On the hill for the Reds, it is Luis Castillo, who will make his 3rd start against the Cubs this season.
He did a very fine job of putting a very forgettable month of June into the rearview window and had a great outing Monday against the White Sox.
Almora first pitch swinging. And this is Winker who finds it and rounds the roundabout way. He gloves it for out number 1. And here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Reds. Schebler, the odd man out in the outfield today. It's Duvall, Hamilton, Winker. Typical infield: Suarez, Peraza, Jeanette, Votto, and Tucker Barnhart hanging the signs for Luis Castillo. So the last 4 pitches in this game have all resulted in outs, as Lester had a 4-pitch first. First pitch of the game was a ball, and from there it's been 4 pitches, 4 outs. First pitch to Hayward's in there for a strike.
One of the reasons that Castillo had such a great game his last time out Monday against the White Sox is that he threw a lot of strikes. He had 27 swinging strikes, which tells me a couple of things. Number 1, he's attacking the strike zone. Number 2, he's got good enough stuff that hitters will swing, and they swing and miss. That's always a good indicator of good stuff.
Castillo threw 101 pitches in those 6 2/3.
And he really didn't even get scored upon until the bullpen gassed his run in there in the 7th inning with 2 outs.
2 keys for him in that game. 1, he didn't walk a batter. and did not give up a home run. Home run ball has been a problem this season. He has given up 18 of them.
You know, there have been some pretty good pitchers that have given up a lot of home runs, guys that have lasted a long time in the major leagues. You know, Robin Roberts, Bert Blyleven, Jamie Moyer pitched until he was 40 years old. All those guys are among the tops in home runs given up. When you give them up, though, make sure there's not a couple of runners on base.
Well, he walks Hayward, and now we have to tackle with one of the hottest hitters in baseball, and Javier Baez. .294 batter, 17 home runs and 63 RBIs. And those 63 RBIs, it's a three-way tie at the top of the National League. Suarez, Baez, Arenado, all with 63 runs driven in to share the lead in the National League.
Here's what I like to watch on with Javi Baez at the plate is his front foot, his left foot, where he starts, where he finishes with the swing. He's always been a guy that steps in a bucket a little bit, and they've corrected that over the years, which has made him a much better hitter. If he steps straight in line, that's when you've got to start pitching him inside a little bit.
Winker will not get to this one. And they're going to hold the runner at third. Not sure Winker saw that one off the bat. Did not take a direct route towards the ball.
Well, Winker has had 2 balls hit out in his direction already in 3 batters. The first one he took a bad route to, but he made the catch because it was a pop fly. This one had a little bit of slicing action going down the line. I'm going to give him a break there, but he got a bad jump, and this ball really could have been caught by an aggressive move from an outfielder who saw it coming off the bat.
So trouble a brewing here for Castillo. Second and third and 1 out. And Anthony Rizzo at the plate. Rizzo got a good look at that one at 96, right down the middle. '59 RBIs, top 10 in the league. Had him way out in front. .0-2 pitch, and Rizzo just gets a piece. And let's check out our StatCast powered by AWS, and we're going to analyze sacrifice fly RBIs. And the ball, basically judging where the ball needs to get to, depending on speed of the runner and the arm of the outfielder. Swing and a miss. Need to worry about that right here as Castillo gets Rizzo to chase and a big out.
You know, we've talked about this a lot about Luis Castillo. Sometimes he gets ahead of the hitters and he starts trying to feather that changeup on the corner rather than throwing it over the cylinder of the plate but down in the dirt. He threw it over the plate, down in the dirt. That's what got the bad swing by Rizzo. Looked like a strike coming out of his hand.
And now Wilson Contreras. And a first pitch strike fastball at 98. Oh, giddy up on that one. 287 batter, Contreras, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs and a very nice 371 on base percentage. Castillo's done a nice job, 5 for 5 on first pitch strikes. And now he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Contreras.
Well, his last time out, and I don't know whether it was all of a sudden a change in attitude or an understanding that Danny Darwin finally got through to him, but he threw strikes for more than 70% of his pitches his last time out. Dramatically an uptick from his previous starts, and the results were great.
And a defensive swing, and Contreras was able to get a piece.
You know, it could be also watching Tyler Mahle, watching Matt Harvey attacking the strike zone, you know, game after game, saying, hey, I got to get along with this thing here. What they're doing is working.
Do the 0-2 again. One and 2.
Good waste pitch there. Right now, Castillo's sitting about 75% strikes to balls. Boy, that's the kind of formula that's going to get you deep into a ball game and put the hitters on the defensive right away.
And he bounces it. Barnhart does a nice job to save a run.
Contreras sat out the game yesterday. He had played the previous 5, and he was on fire during those last 5 games.
Two pitch. Grounded to Suarez. Sets, and Castillo gets out of it. Walk at a double, no problem. Scoreless through 1. And ready to go on the first pitch of the at-bat. You look at the averages. Both of these teams go up packing, and with success.
I mean, those are the numbers from the Reds standpoint. Why they're swinging the bat, why the Cubs are swinging the bat. You know, we've also talked about the Atlanta Braves. They're another team, when the Reds played them, they were very aggressive coming out of the on-deck circle. Against John Lester, though, the opponents have had a good time swinging at the first pitch. In fact, he gives up more hard hit balls on the first pitch than anybody else in baseball this year. And that's why the Reds are out there hacking there in the first inning.
Suarez reaches out and pulls it into left field for a base hit. So an 11-game hitting streak for Eugenio.
Stays back just enough on a curveball. Lester leaves it up for him, and he serves it in front of the left fielder.
Suarez delivers a leadoff hit, and here's Scooter Gennett.
He was actually out in front of that a little bit. Maybe got a little bit of a break by being able to drop it in there. You want to be able to make sure that you stay back enough that when a pitcher hangs that curveball to you, you can lay the wood to it.
Suarez at first and Gennett at the plate, and both of these guys will find out later tonight if they are National League All-Stars. Both very deserving of the honor, as that will be announced tonight. Gennett continues to lead the National League in hitting at .329, 14 home runs, and those 58 RBIs also top 10 in the National League. Those first pitch numbers of Lester are very surprising when you look at his overall numbers. 11-2 and a 2.25 ERA. Counts 1-1 here.
You know, when you really start examining the numbers on John Lester, what jumps out to me are a couple of different things. Number one, he doesn't throw as many strikes as he appears to throw. He gets hitters to chase a lot of pitchers. And the other thing he does, he falls into certain patterns. Against left-handers, for instance, he doesn't like throwing that changeup at all. And last start is a great example. He didn't throw one changeup at all in his last start. Now, he only went 5 innings against the Minnesota Twins, and it was not a very good game.
Rizzo steps on the bag. This is a tag play, and Suarez realizes it, gets himself into a rundown, and Rizzo makes the tag. And that will go 3-6-3 on the double play. And the 2-out batter is Adam Duvall. Lester making his 15th career start against the Reds here today. And the Cubs as a team are 12-2 in his first 14 games. And there's another first pitch swing. Hayward ties the Reds here in the second. Scoreless at Wrigley. Enjoy live mascot races. A lot of things to do for the kids. Plus, kids 14 and younger are going to receive a Tucker Barnhart Fathead. Thanks to PNC Bank. Tickets visit Reds.com. Kyle Schwarber to lead off in the second here for the Cubs against Luis Castillo. A swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. Schwarber, Happ, Addison Russell here in the second. Castillo worked around some trouble in the first. At second and third and 1 out. Struck out Rizzo, got Contreras to ground out. And got out of the inning scoreless. The first inning has been, well, tied for the worst inning this season for Castillo. He's given up 61 runs overall, 13 of which have come in the first inning. Inning number 3 also 13 runs. Second inning, one of his best, has given up 6.
Yeah, but the problem with the Cubs lineup is that the second inning looks as formidable as the first inning. I mean, you're going, if you're a right-handed pitcher, you're facing Kyle Schwarber, Ian Happ, who's on base about 55% of the time against the Reds, and Addison Russell, who on a lot of ball clubs would be batting a whole lot higher in the order than number 8.
Yeah, Russell's a .282 batter.
So
that's what you face when you face these vaunted Cubs.
like the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah. And Schwarber works a leadoff walk.
Well, the one thing that Castillo did not do in his last start was walk a batter. He went 6 2/3 against the White Sox, and now in 2 innings he's walked 2, both lefties.
And here's the UC Bearcat, Ian Happ. Swing and a miss. Happ struck out 3 times here yesterday, and that continues to be one of the major stories for him on the season. He has 96 on the season. That is 3rd most in the National League. One and 1. Short lead for Schwarber. He does have 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts.
He'll only go if you completely ignore him down there. So you throw over one time just to let him know that we're not going to let you just go ahead and run at will.
One pitch. 1 and 2.
Ian Happ made a couple of outs against the Reds yesterday, remarkably. And that dropped his overall career on-base percentage against the Reds to .505. Now these are the highest career on-base percentage against a single opponent. And you see Votto is on that list. He has a number of teams he likes to get on base against, like all of them. And a lot of the on bases by Ian Happ have come by the way of base on balls.
Yeah.
For a young guy, and I think he's only 23, has a really good idea of the strike zone.
Up and in. And Castillo has run the count full.
So the question right here for Joe Madden is that do you like Ian Happ's ability to make contact enough to go ahead and put Schwarber in motion? One of his key calls yesterday was putting a runner in motion on an 0-2 count to Anthony Rizzo. Stayed out of a double play, and the go-ahead, eventually winning run scored.
That was a huge play and a huge manager's decision. You hit the nail right on the head right when it happened. It was Rizzo at the plate. It was Baez on first base, and he put Baez in motion, and Rizzo grounded right to Scooter Gennett, and his only play was to first with 1 out. And it scored the go-ahead run. It ended up being a winning run.
Reds defense on Ian Happ kind of bunched a little bit. Third baseman, I mean, they're right in here. They're really just taking away the infield gap, if you want to call it that. Of course, Votto's got the first baseline holding the runner on, but a lot of space down the left field line there if Happ can figure out a way to slice it that way.
Schwarber leaning, won't go, and another foul out of play. And here comes the 3-2 again. Up the middle, base hit. A rope off the bat of Happ. A walk and a single here in the second. Nobody out.
Pretty good at bat by Ian Happ right here. He finally waits and waits and waits and gets a pitch that he can hit hard. And right back through the box it goes.
And the 8th batter, Addison Russell, will step in. Russell 2 for 3 here yesterday afternoon. RBI ground out along the way and walked and scored 2 runs. The bottom half of the Cubs order, 7, 8, and 9, scored 5 of the 8 runs yesterday. Oh, 1 pitch. 0-2.
Well, that slider was the last pitch he threw right there to Russell. Has been a very key pitch for Castillo along the way. Last year when he broke on the scene, it was basically fastball changeup, developing a slider a little bit at a time. His last time out, he threw more sliders than in any other game this year. The only other game where he threw really more sliders than changeups was the last time that he pitched against the Chicago Cubs. And in that game, he had a very good outing. But you got to be able to throw it that it looks like a strike coming out of your hand.
1-2 pitch. We're down to second base, and it's a little high. Schwarber well off the bag, and Barnhart gave it a try. Counts 2-2.
Yeah, that's a play right there that if Peraza wanted to, he could have dropped the knee in front of the bag and blocked Schwarber from getting to the bag and probably gotten the pickoff out. If you know a runner's going in there head first, reaching out with his hands.
Right center field. This is trouble. Schwarber rounding third. He will score. Here comes Happ. 2 RBI double Russell. And the Cubs have a 2-0 lead.
Well, this time the slider comes back to bite Luis Castillo. But look where it is. He hangs it right up there, belt high on the outer third of the plate. And you can see Russell thinking about using the entire field right there. One reason why, Jim, as you mentioned, he's a 280 hitter. That's a pretty good number 8 plate hitter right there in Addison Russell.
16th double of the season for Russell, RBI number 29 and 30. And here's John Lester, and don't sleep on this guy, as we talked about earlier. His last start, home run. And I'm going crazy in the Cubs bullpen. First time in 9 games that the Cubs have scored first in a game. Seven RBIs this season. And the Grand Slam boys right behind him.
Now Lester, you know, with the 7 runs batted in this year, you know, tops the polls there, but he also had 6 last year. He had 6 the year before in 2016, even though he only hit 102 that year. He just comes up the plate with a lot of runners on base.
Castillo gets the strike and makes the count 3-1. Still nobody out here in the second. Four pitches in the inning for Castillo. The guy standing at the plate has thrown only 11 through 2 innings. Just staying alive is Lester, and we'll do the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Out number 1. And that'll bring up Albert Almora Jr. Top 2 hitters in the National League as far as batting average goes are in this series, and one of them is Jeanette, and the 2 spot is the guy at the plate, Almora. Flying out to center field his first time up, average sitting at .323. One ball, no strikes.
You know what we've seen out of Luis Castillo is that when things are rolling along, he gets better and better. He gets more aggressive with pitches in the zones, but as soon as he starts getting touched up a little bit, he becomes a little bit timid about attacking hitters. Doesn't pitch his inside as much. Kind of gets away with pitching to contact, pitching to the strike zone. And as you can tell right here, I mean, he really is showing me that he wants nothing to do with Albert Almora.
Just way inside on the first pitch and way outside for ball 2.
But all he's got to do is look in the on deck circle and beyond to realize that it gets worse after Almora.
Three balls and no strikes.
I mean, contrast how he's pitching now to how he attacked the hitters there in the first inning. He went after Rizzo and got him struck out on 3 pitches in a row.
Darwin's going to get on the phone already. And there's a strike at 97. Hayward on deck. 30 pitches this inning so far for Castillo. Suarez will look the runner back. 2 outs.
I mean, I think it's great that Castillo can throw 97 miles an hour. But that last pitch shows you that it was 96 miles an hour, and Almora was all over. He just got on top of it and hit a ground ball. He pulled it. So that tells me that 96 is hitting speed. So you throw 96, 97, so what? I think, you know, for the next step for pitchers that think that throwing hard is all they need to do, they could take a lesson from what Tyler Mahle does. Throws a little bit softer early in the count, 91, 92, and then you save that 96 for when you need it. It's an easy thing to talk about, very difficult to do. But if you throw all your fastballs in the same range, you know, you're not giving the hitters any adjustment to make, you know, on speed, you know, adding and subtracting. A hitter doesn't hit the radar gun. He's not fooled by 97 anymore. Heck, you're drafting guys that are throwing 100.
Look out. Almost clipped Baez in the on-deck circle. Way late on that one. He walked Hayward in the first, and now he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. That call that Danny Darwin made was to get a left-hander, Kyle Crockett, up in the Reds' pen. Strike 3 call. Castillo limits the damage to 2. On Fox, the first semifinal will pit France against Belgium on Tuesday, with coverage beginning at 1 p.m. on Fox, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Croatia and England will square off in the other semi on Wednesday. John Lester, 11 pitches through the first 2 innings, and think about his long and very good career. It's the fewest pitches he's ever thrown through 2 innings in any start of his career. Rizzo waits on it, and one out. Among active pitchers, 365 starts, 8th, 5th in wins, 4th in win percentage, and top 10 in strikeouts amongst active pitchers. And he has been quite the innings eater as Castillo swings at the first pitch. This has been an easy road to hoe here for Lester so far in this one. Here's today's IGS bringing the energy. It has to do with the man coming to the plate now, Billy Hamilton. Yesterday, 3 for 4, run, and 3 stolen bases. It's the 6th career game with 3 or more hits and 3 or more stolen bases. Eric Davis is the only Red since 1913 to do it more than once, and he did it 2 times. Quite the class when you're in there with Eric the Red. Billy from the right-hand side.
Well, here's the guy that I would imagine the Reds are just dying to get on base against John Lester. Lester gives up more stolen bases than anybody on the planet. And the Reds always vow to run when they get runners on base. Of course, getting runners on base here in this ball game has been a challenge so far. Lester's had 1 runner on, and he was quickly erased on a double play ball.
Happ in on the cut of the grass at third. Rizzo in at first. And 1-1. Check swing, and he went. One-two pitch. 2-2. Hamilton is a .333 batter in his matchups with Lester. 7 for 21. And he rips one to left. Schwarber came in on it initially and paid the price for it. It's a 2-out double for Billy.
Now, Billy had 3 hits in 1 game here the other day when the left-hander was on the mound pitching. And he gets this high pitch and lines it right over the head of the Cubs left fielder.
And now the top of the order, and Jose Peraza. Peraza came in at 9 for 23 against Lester. .391 average. He did fly out to center his first time up.
See, I know that there's, the baseball commandments, never make your first or third out of third base, but in a case where the Cubs are giving Billy Hamilton third base, why not take it right here? There are several ways you can score from third that you can't score from second.
And we found that out twice in inning number 1 yesterday. Back-to-back wild pitches.
And other than just absolutely catching him halfway on the inside move that he makes right there, there's no way he's going to throw the ball to second. And with Hamilton's speed and the jump that he should get, he should be able to walk to third.
There he goes. And not even a throw.
No coverage. So now a wild pitch, a pass ball, a balk, an error on the infielder, an infield hit. A lot of different ways now you can score from third base rather than second base with 2 outs.
20 on the season now for Billy.
I mean, with 2 strikes doesn't make sense, but I mean, a bunt hit by Peraza would score a run.
And line drive, base hit. Hamilton scores. Reds on the board. Peraza has his eyes on second base. Throw in, and he is out. Run will count. Billy across the plate. It's a 1-run game at Wrigley. Greedy, and Almora gunned him down. Delivered a strike, and it really wasn't close. Waiting on Peraza to slide right into it. Perhaps that little hesitation did him in as well. Play went 8-4, but an RBI for Peraza, and it's a 2-1 game. Middle of the order here in the third against Castillo. Baez, Rizzo, Contreras. And that's a tough trio to face. We talked about this entire lineup for the Cubs. In fact, throughout the whole season, Cubs come into this game first in the National League in average, first in runs per game at 5.1, ninth in home runs, first in on base percentage, and they'll walk 2, tied for third in walks. Did that get him? Nope. The Reds are no slouch either, as a team third in the league in batting average, now 5th in runs per game at 4.7. Second in on-base percentage and first in walks. So a couple of good offensive teams squaring off here at Wrigley. Two-two pitch. One out. Get the exclusive Mavis bobblehead on your ticket to the Sunday, July 22nd game with the Hotel Transylvania ticket package. Plus, don't miss special character appearances by Drac and Mavis. This limited edition bobblehead is only available through this offer. Packages start for as low as $20. Get yours today at Reds.com/themes. Love some of these theme packages they've had this year. After striking out Rizzo his first time up, Castillo behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Got him out in front and a lazy fly ball to Hamilton. Which again, that sun's going to wreak havoc until it actually falls in the defender's glove. You just never know. There were a couple of them yesterday that.
Well, Luis Castillo shows you right there how important a changeup can be. Got a big, powerful hitter like Anthony Rizzo up there. You go 2-0, and it's a hitter's count. He's in command, and then you throw what looks like a fastball, but actually is a changeup, and he gets way out in front. He hits it, but not enough to do any damage, and it's an easy fly out. Great pitch from when you're behind in the count.
Contreras grounded out in the first. And he punches it the other way. Votto was playing off the line. And Contreras has his eyes on second base. Winker with a beautiful throw and got him. Credit the single with the putout, 9-6. In the third.
Boy, you know, outfielders love this. When a guy wants to stretch it on him, Albert Almora, perfect strike to second baseman. He makes the tag right there, Baez does. And Jose Peraza's nailed out. But when Wilson Contreras goes down the line, I didn't think he was going to try for 2, but he did. And Jesse Winker shows a very strong and accurate arm. So the third out for both the top half and the bottom half of the third inning. Outfield assists.
2, 3, and 4 for the Reds here in the fourth. Barnhart, Votto, Suarez. Ground out in the first, and it's been a struggle for Barnhart. Came in over his last 4 appearances, 1 for his last 15. And this followed a season-high 8-game hitting streak. So, you know all about the roller coaster ride as a major league hitter, and right now he's trying to get that to go back up. Came in ranked 4th in the National League in hitting versus lefties, as he will ground right at the second baseman. Had him played perfectly. 1 out. And here's Joey Votto.
Now, this is a lot tidier game that John Lester is pitching today than he did when he picked up a win last Sunday against the Minnesota Twins. In that ball game, he only went 5 innings, but he walked 3. He gave up 9 hits, allowed a home run, and gave up 4 runs overall, but still, with the Cubs offense, he nailed down a victory.
Under the knees, and the count's 1-1 to Votto. See that season average sitting at 295. Only the 30th pitch. And here comes from Lester, and it's outside. Four-pitch first inning, 7-pitch second inning. And the count's 3-1 to Votto. Counts full to Joey. Payoff pitch, and it's up and in, and he walked him.
I guess there's no guarantee that just because you lead the National League in runs batted in that you're an automatic ticket to the All-Star game. This is the list of those players that at the All-Star break were leading the league in runs batted in, but were not chosen to participate in the Midsummer Classic.
Wow. He had 84 RBIs in 2008 before the All-Star break, and you don't mean that make the team? You gotta be kidding me. Of the last 76 players to lead the league in RBIs before the break, only 5 have not made it. But we'll find out later tonight.
That name, Derek Bell, reminds me of Operation Shutdown. Remember that in spring training?
Yeah. To Suarez. Drive, left field. Schwarber looks up and watches it fly. Another big fly off the bat of Suarez. 3-run home run yesterday, a 2-run shot here, and the Reds have taken the lead. A missile home run to left.
I'm wondering if maybe Suarez has had some conversations over the years, especially this year with Joey Votto. Not about salsa dancing, but about what you do when you get a 3-0 count. Votto loves to swing on a 3-0 count. We've talked about that a lot. But I can't remember Suarez hitting all that much 3-0. Here he gets one, launches. What a good swing by Suarez. 2 hits in the ball game.
Team leading 19th home run, RBI 67 and 68. Chris, you're right. That's the first home run that Suarez has hit in his career on a 3-0 count.
Won't be the last, because that one felt awfully good. That's almost like an ambush to a pitcher, because the Cubs probably know that. Lester probably knows that. This guy doesn't like to swing on 3-0. The only guy on the Reds team that swings 3-0 is Votto. So you relax a little bit. You're just going to go ahead and throw a good old, 3-0 Cleo in there.
A 3-0 Cleo.
Well, 3-0 Leo is a pitch that's outside the zone that the umpire calls a strike. A 3-0 Cleo is one right down the middle that gets whacked.
Not only his first home run on a 3-0 count, Chris, his first hit. So as you said, maybe we'll see it more. It was a 4-seam fastball at 91 that got out of here in a hurry.
And I guess the other thing to note about that is that, Lester has been cruising along so much that he really hasn't pitched except 2 pitches out of the stretch position until Suarez came to the plate. He's going to go the stretch again here in the 4th.
And now he walks Jeanette, so 2 walks in the inning. A home run. 110-mile-per-hour exit velocity. Only 23-degree launch angle. A laser beam. Jim Hickey will talk it over with Lester and the entire infield. The 1-out batter will be Adam Duvall. Breaking ball misses under the knees. 1-0 to Duvall. Steger takes his lead against Lester, who's had the yips, throwing over to first base. I talked to some of the Reds players about when Lester's on the hill, and there are probably people out there saying, well, why don't you run every time on him? Why don't you get a huge lead? And they all say the equalizer is the guy behind the plate, Contreras. He will back pick.
Well, if you're running to second base, the back pick's not going to do you any good.
Correct.
And if you know he's not going to throw over to first base, why not get a lead and just don't run anyway?
Taylor made here, 6-4-3. And a big blow off the bat of Suarez. 2-run shot and a 3-2 Reds lead.
senior was named the MVP of the 1980 All-Star Game at Dodger Stadium after going 2 for 3 with his solo home run in the game. The National League ended up winning 4-2. The Reds have had 5 different players win the MVP, tied for most in the National League with the Dodgers and the Giants. Gentlemen.
And that was back when the National League just dominated the American League for so many years in the Midsummer Classic. He had quite the run. Castillo's been given a 1-run lead now. We'll see what he can do with it. As Schwarber and Happ and Russell will face him here in the 4th.
You know, this is the inning, Jim. We had that long conversation with the White Sox pitching coach, Donnie Cooper. One of the things that he loves to see his pitchers do is come down and shut down the opposition after your team takes the lead. You know, we've talked about it a long time, called the momentum inning. And it certainly is the momentum inning because the Reds were able to take the lead with that home run by Suarez. So this is where Castillo really needs to bear down. This was the part of the order that got to him in the 2nd that scored a couple of runs. Schwarber walked, Happ singled, Russell doubled him in.
Castillo once again has run a count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Driven the other way, hit well. Duvall back, it's off the wall, and it bounds away from Duvall, but Schwarber will hold up at second with a leadoff double.
Well, that's a good bit of hitting right here by Schwarber. Gives you a real good indication how strong he is. He just kept his head right on this pitch. Look how he just keeps his head right down there. Doesn't fly his shoulder open one bit. That ball nearly puts a dent in the brick wall out there in left center field or left field.
Tying run at second base, and here's Happ, who singled and scored his first time up. One out. They set up the middle. Schwarber had to go back initially towards second base. He will hold up at third. And it's first and third and nobody out.
Boy, Ian Happ has just been nails over the last couple of weeks against right-handers. His on-base percentage is .600, and it's just going up. He's been on base twice today. A ringing line drive through the box, and the bottom third of the order here really getting it going here for the Cubs against Castillo.
And here comes Danny Darwin. This will be twofold to settle down his righty, and it will give righty Michael Lorenzen a chance to get more pitches in.
This is a little indicator how important this ball game is to Jim Riggleman. I mean, he had Kyle Crockett up in the 2nd inning.
Yep.
And it wasn't like Castillo was giving up eight or nine runs in the first 2 innings. This is a game that I think Riggleman has keyed on as a really huge momentum game. The Reds are on a road trip, a 3-city road trip right before the All-Star break. You play the Cubs, you go into Cleveland. You're getting 3 tough pitchers there in Cleveland, and they're leading their division. And then you go into St. Louis to finish this time before the break against a team that, you know, has always done very well in St. Louis against the Reds. So if you can get a little momentum right here, it can make a huge difference in the entire trip.
Addison Russell doubled off of Castillo back in the second. Russell, 24 years of age. Florida kid, born and resides in Florida.
Now, one of the problems that Luis Castillo's had today is the number of 3-ball counts. He's had 6 3-ball counts against the Cubs, and they have resulted in the Cubs going 2 for 4 with 2 base on balls.
1-1 pitch. In on the hands, and it's 1-2. This will get a run in. Raza gets the lead out at second base. As far as the lead out of it in the middle, but a run scores and we are tied again. Yet again in this series. It has been a tight affair. A couple of 1-run games.
Now the ball's got to be hit right at you to get a double play with Russell running. Good clean but hard slide there by Ian Happ. He does everything according to the rule book. Got down in front of the bag, was able to hold on to the bag as he slid over the top of it, and he made sure there was no play at first base. Boy, what a big lead over there. The Billy Hamilton lead by Baez.
And there he goes.
Russell, I mean.
He was off and running.
You know, in this series with the Reds and the Cubs, it shows you this very subtle advantage that you have when you have a left-handed throwing first baseman versus a right-handed throwing first baseman. Anthony Rizzo throws left-handed. His tag hand is an easy sweep back towards the runner. Much more difficult for a right-handed throwing first baseman to play over there and get that tag on a runner.
Showing bunt and a beauty. Advances Russell to second base. 2 outs. Sacrifice goes 1-3, and now the top of the order, Albert Almora Jr.
I mean, just think about the different things that a left-handed throwing first baseman can do that a right-hander can't. You can throw to second base easier on a ground ball. You can throw to third base easier on a bunt. The only play where it doesn't get any easier is when a first baseman ranges to his right and then has to pitch it off to the pitcher covering the first base bag. But nearly everything else in baseball is built for a left-handed throwing first baseman.
Fly out, ground out for Almora so far today. Average down to 322. Fooled him twice, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. What does he have in store in the 0-2? Driven into left center field. Duvall will run it down. But another run, and we are tied at 3.
History in their win over the Padres. In their last 5 games, they scored 17 total. But the big story was the Washington Nationals. Man, what a duo the Nationals have had. We continue to see all the runs that they scored. But Trey Turner on Thursday, 3 for 5, 2 homers, 8 RBI. Last night, Mark Reynolds, 5 for 5, 2 homers, 10 RBI. The first NL teammates to have 8 or more RBI in a game since 1961. Those teammates were Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda. How about those guys, boys?
Nationals, boy, they went on a streak, a downward streak, where opening everyone's eyes in baseball. They are since now 2 games over 500 at 45 and 43. You got to think with the talent they have on that team and the pitching. At least in DC, they're hoping it was just one of those stretches. They are 5 games back in the East. Philadelphia and Atlanta deadlock top of the East. Two balls and a strike to Winker. First 3 innings for Lester, he threw 23 pitches. Threw the same amount in just inning number 4. The Reds got 2, including a 2-run home run by Eugenio Suarez. Well, we noticed in the half inning there, Lorenzen was warming up in the bullpen, and we saw him come in from the bullpen and bring his bat. He is in the on-deck circle. So we assume to hit for Castillo and then stay in the game to pitch. Strike 3 call. First strikeout of the afternoon for Lester.
Yeah, versus 9 ground ball outs. Boy, he sure does keep the ball down, though. I mean, you know, in the era now of StatCast and the proof that so many hitters are trying to elevate the baseball and pitchers trying to go upstairs with spin rate and high fastballs, Lester's kind of a throwback just by pounding the bottom of the zone for the most part.
And Lorenzen swung out of his helmet.
.89-mile-an-hour cutter.
Two outs. And that'll bring up the 9-batter Billy Hamilton. First time up for Billy, doubled, stole third, scored on Jose Peraza's RBI single. Series on the line here, deadlocked at 3. Cubs picked up a game in the standings over the Brewers yesterday. They're 1.5 games back at 50-36. Reds winners of 5 of their last 6 games against the Cubs. And boy, what a series victory would mean for them. 2-0 to Billy, and it's 3-0. And speaking of the Brewers, they have a 5-0 lead over Atlanta and Milwaukee in the 5th. And he walked him. Third walk of the afternoon surrendered by Lester.
Boy, of all guys to walk to, he's probably thinking to himself, "You big dummy." That's Billy Hamilton.
Did you just drop a big dummy?
You know, sometimes when you're on the mound and you're just trying to tell yourself, okay, just throw a strike right here. That's when it becomes almost impossible. You have to stay on what you've been focusing on, which is, you know, a small speck on that catcher's glove, or, you know, maybe one of his shin guards, maybe the umpire's mask, something like that. For Lester, though, I think more of it is down around the shin guards. You know, left knee, right knee, glove, because he keeps that ball down. I mean, look at this. In the age of going upstairs, he doesn't do it at all.
There goes Billy. Throw down into center field. He's on his way to third. And he's coming home. Here comes the throw, and they can't get it, and Billy scores. All speed kills.
Scores from first on a stolen base. How about Billy Hatcher down there just waving him on? After this ball gets away at second base, Billy will go into third, and then bobbled out there by Almora. And Almora just short hops the catcher. Wilson Contreras can't come up with it. And just like that, you snatch a run away.
Stolen base, air on the catcher, air on the center fielder, and a run.
In football, they would call those forced errors, right?
I just call it Billy ball. And we've seen him in this stadium. Didn't he score from second base on a wild pitch here, Wrigley? with John Lackey on the mound.
Boy, nothing better than watching John Lackey's response to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Check him out. It's a thing of beauty. Forces a bad throw. And then forces a short hop throw. And Peraza delivers his second hit of the afternoon. Fifth hit of the afternoon off of Lester. And we'll see what Peraza has in store. 16 stolen bases in 18 attempts. Barnhart first pitch swinging. This will be out number 3. But Billy strikes again. And the Reds have retaken the lead. Cincinnati Children's, now ranked number 2 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. And by your local Ford dealer, Ford, go further. Reds have had a couple of leads here today. And they will give a 4-3 lead to Michael Lorenzen, who hit in the last half and will stay in the game to pitch. And he'll get Hayward, Baez, Rizzo, 2, 3, and 4 here in the 5th.
Well, Lorenzen has wanted to be a starter. He made that very clear during the spring training. And, you know, the way that the Reds are using him now in multiple inning appearances is about as close as you can get to being a starter without being in the rotation. And they're going to need him today for multiple innings. Bullpen's kind of worn down. Yesterday, Jim Riggleman really couldn't use the pitchers out of the pen that he wanted to use. Lorenzen being one of them. Wanted to give Lorenzen one more day off, figuring that he might need him today.
Prior to yesterday, he had worked 3 straight games, so he's been used a lot. trying to get back on the beam, if you will, because he pitched in game 1 of this, or against the White Sox. His last time, two outings ago against the White Sox. An inning and a third scoreless, but last time 2/3 of an inning and an earned run here against the Cubs in game 1 of this series. Two-two pitch. And he walked him.
Well, that's one that got away from you right there, because he was ahead and in control of the count with Hayward, and then just kind of picked away, tried the backdoor slider and outside strikeout, missed on an outside corner, and then when it came time to have to throw a strike on a 3-2 count, couldn't do it.
Never want to walk a guy to lead off an inning, particularly when Baez and Rizzo are coming up next.
Both times the Cubs have had the leadoff runner reach base, they both come around to score. One, a leadoff walk, and the second by Luis Castillo.
So Castillo only goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3 through 83 pitches in 4 innings. One pitch. Peraza, Jeanette. That's a double play. Hard hit ball off the bat of Baez. Peraza handles it. Jeanette makes the turn, and 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, this is what you call DP lane on a Sunday afternoon.
Two-out batters, Anthony Rizzo. You got to write a song with that. Would be a good title. Maybe we'll turn that over to Jimmy Buffett.
Is he here in attendance today?
He is here in attendance today.
And he will be singing a concert here at the end of the week, I understand.
Friday,
on
yeah.
Friday.
Sort of sounds like a Jimmy Buffett song. Jimmy's probably having himself a beverage. After all, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You know, and just maybe, you know,
There
if we
he
can get
is.
together with him, a couple of salt shakers and a blender or 2,
Yeah.
we can come up with the lyrics.
I got you covered. Why don't you go down and talk this over with Jimmy?
He's probably never heard that before. Hey, Jimmy, I've got a great idea for a
Yeah.
song.
Exactly.
Here's what I have so far. DP lane on a Sunday afternoon. What do you think?
Rizzo gets under this one, and Winker gloves it for out number 3. 5 in the books. Reds have the lead. Brian, thank you very much. As always, on top of his game back there in Cincinnati. And running the show with Sam LeCure on board, pre and post. We look forward to those guys putting a capper on this one.
Yeah, they have a lot to talk about here this afternoon. We're going to go right to them after this game for the whole wrap-up.
And that'll be before the Reds head on to Cleveland. And by the way, we're taking the show up there. Reds Live pre and post up to Cleveland for the Battle of Ohio. And it will be 3 games against the Indians. The last few years it's been they've played 2 and 2, but in the years in which your interleague play is against the American League Central, it's 6 games. And this one served the other way, and Addison Russell bluffs it for out number 1. Baseball's 2 biggest events of the summer are back-to-back. The action begins at the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 16th at 8 Eastern. Then it's baseball's biggest stars as they gather for the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th on Fox. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And we hope Suarez is in D.C. for that one. We'll find out later tonight. Two-run home run last time up. A 3-run shot here yesterday. He just continues his impressive play. And this was a laser beam. Votto had walked ahead of him, and Suarez made him pay. One-two pitch. Prior to the All-Star break, let's go back to 1990. Most RBIs for the All-Star break. Suarez creeping up on that list. And keep in mind, he's got about 10 games less than those other guys on that list, because Suarez has done this despite missing 16 games in April with fractured right thumb. He's worked the count full. Bend out of play. With a 2-for-2 day, Suarez average up to .317. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Here it comes. Just got a piece. Three-two again. Grounded hard at Happ. He drops it, recovers, and in time to get Suarez.
Happ played his first game at third base yesterday. Of course, Chris Bryant's still on the disabled list. We've seen him running around before the game's out here. They seemingly just a day or two away from coming off that DL. But Happ has been out taking practice at ground balls just about every day. And here's a look at Bryant.
The Cubs are none the least intimidated by moving players around and playing them where they're not necessarily comfortable. we saw early in Bryant's career. Hey, go out and play left field. Happ, center field, third base. Zobrist, second base, right field. Baez at third, Baez at second.
And if you talk to the Cubs players about that, Jim, they like it, especially the young guys. Of course, they want to play no matter what. But, you know, I'm wondering if this just doesn't set them up to be more complete players as they get more and more experience in the major leagues.
Baez makes the out. A 1-2-3 inning for Lester.
For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Another packed house here at Wrigley and some Reds sprinkled about. We've seen a ton of Reds fans in the city this weekend, and per usual, the Reds and Cubs hook up. This is always one of the destination spots. Jimmy Buffett in the house. Camera friendly Jimmy Buffett. I think he's reacting to the song suggestion from Chris Welsh.
Working on it now.
DP Lane on a Sunday afternoon.
I'm still stuck on that one line.
Well, this has been a big day for me. We've got DP Lane on a Sunday afternoon. You dropped a big dummy. Which, yeah, I'm going to date myself here, but Fred G. Sanford used to drop that all the time. You big dummy. That was large. So stay tuned. You never know what's coming next from Chris Welsh.
I knew I had stolen it somewhere, but I just couldn't remember where. Now chasing the slider in a good location right there. A whole lot different than lacing that ball down the right field line like he did his last time up. Ended up getting thrown out at second base by a really nice play by Jesse Winker.
And another full count. Seen a lot of those here this afternoon. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. beauty by Lorenzen.
Yeah, the same result, the same pitch that he had to get strike two.
So Lorenzen comes through. That was the 7th full count by Reds pitchers so far in this game. This time none for the wear, and Lorenzen will tangle with Kyle Schwarber.
Well, the first 6 resulted in 4 base runners.
Schwarber scored both times, up walk and a double. Good numbers against Lorenzen in their matchups. Going up and in, and Schwarber not liking the call from Tripp Gibson. 1-2 pitch. Swing. Yep, nope. Barnhart couldn't hold it. Count holds at 1-2. Two and two. Strike 3 called. Schwarber didn't like it a bit. But Lorenzen paints the inside corner, and it's back-to-back punch-outs.
I don't really think that Schwarber likes to hit the inside pitch. I mean, he just doesn't get his hips cleared. He's thinking about using the other field, and that's why if you can get this pitch in there, of course, that's got a lot of great comeback action. Looks like it's off the plate and then comes in and catches the corner.
Two-out batters, Ian Happ, and we'll see if the Reds can get him out here.
Those pitches at 90 miles an hour that you see from Lorenzen, that's his slider. He's got a slider and a curveball, and the one he heats up to mid-90s is a fastball.
One. Lifted into short center field, and Hamilton calls off Peraza. And a 1-2-3-6 for Michael Lorenzen. So a 2 RBI double off of Luis Castillo. That's chipped away. Jose Peraza in the third. Base hit. It scored Hamilton. He got a little greedy, tried for a double, was thrown out, but the run counted. And then in the fourth, Suarez gave the Reds the lead. 2-run shot. 19th of the season for Suarez, and then Billy Hamilton untied this game. Speed kills. He walks. He steals second. Induces an error by the catcher. And a lackadaisical trip to the ball by the center fielder Almora, and a bad throw. And Billy scored all the way from first base. And right now, that is the difference in the game. 4-3 Reds. Inning number 7. John Lester still on the hill for the Cubs. Duvall, Winker, and the pitcher spot here in the 7th.
Well, so far on the day, John Lester has been a ground ball machine. He has had 12 ground ball outs, which is the most he has had since he's put on a Cub uniform. The most he's had ever, including his time in Oakland and his time in Boston, is 13.
Duvall tried to tomahawk one. Behind in the count, 1-2. One-two pitch. 2-2. There is action in the Cubs pen. It's Pedro Strop. Lester's thrown only 87 pitches, and here's number 88 that's fouled back. Check swing, appealed down to first, and crew chief Brian Gorman rings him up. And Duvall with the stare down at Gorman.
Yeah, look at disbelief right there on the part of Duvall. He was certain that he did not go, and he's still trying to stare him down. You be the judge. Remember that the rule book has no particular thing that a hitter has to do. You don't break your wrist. The bat doesn't come out in front of home plate. Doesn't clear the hitter. But the umpire is called on to judge whether he had made a legitimate attempt to hit the ball. That's it.
Here's Winker. Right now, Lorenzen's on deck. We've seen Jim Riggleman pulling back before. Reds have had action in their pit. See how it plays out. Only the second strikeout of the afternoon for Lester. And that has been part of his efficiency. To a pitch. 3-0. Driven the other way, and Winker continues to spray it all over the ballpark this season. And now a quick message from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky.
Comes Joe Madden with the slow walk to the mound. And he will take the ball from John Lester. 1 out into the 7th. It's our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Ohio, the battle for the Ohio Cup as the Reds and Indians match up for the first time this season. 6:30 for Reds Live. You can stream it on Fox Sports Go. Swing into Summer presented by Click It or Ticket. Michael Lorenzen will bat against the new pitcher for the Cubs. It's Pedro Strop.
4 days since Strop has been in a ball game. He picked up a save in his last outing. There are the numbers on him for the year. Having a good year as Strop.
And Lorenzen gets down a bunt on the first pitch and moves Winker on to second base. Throw into left, but Winker can't go anywhere. Schwarber's there to retrieve it. See the Cubs throw the ball all over the place here.
Yeah, they did, and they got a break right there because when Winker went back into second base, he overran second base a little bit on the play. And when he went diving back into the base thinking there was going to be a play on him as Rizzo throws to second to try to pick him off, he goes in with his head down, and he stayed down. And he did not realize that this ball had gotten by Baez. I'm not so sure that he makes it to third anyway.
That ball got to Schwarber in a minute.
Yeah, not the speediest guy. And you don't want to make the third out over there. And you got Billy Hamilton having a good day coming up.
Winker not fleet of foot, and Schwarber tied for the league lead in outfield assists, tied with the guy at the plate.
Hey, last time we saw Billy Hamilton score on a stolen base from first base. You know, yeah, the Cubs threw it around a little bit, but we talked about that play when he scored from second base on a pass ball, John Lackey on the mound. Now, wouldn't this be a great Twitter poll question? Which is a more fun video to watch? Billy Hamilton scoring on this pass ball from second or scoring from first on a stolen base? Now, I suggest you do that because I think the last time I looked, he had about 5.5 million followers.
5.5 million, yeah.
And we might just put it out there.
Well, you know, I would want a third choice. How about that rundown? Here's today. Steal second, throw into center field, on his way to third. Almora hesitated getting the ball, and Billy took off. Ferris couldn't handle it. Scored from first.
What do you like?
Well, I would want to throw in a third choice as Billy. Well, we're going to have to talk about it on the other side. And that's a TV tease. And that was when he got caught in a rundown between first and second base and scored. All the way from first base. No one covering home and never let up. That is just exciting stuff. All three are great plays.
Man. Hey, you're making it tough.
Yeah. Lorenzen still on the hill for the Reds here. He'll get Russell the pitcher spot and Almora, and right now the on deck circle has been Zobrist in it. Reds do have Hernandez and Crockett, righty and lefty, cranking it up. Three balls and a strike. Shows bunt and looks at a strike. Another full count. Payoff pitch to Russell. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of Barnhart.
3-2 slider, same thing he did with Wilson Contreras when he went full count, and gets this one down, and Russell goes down.
And that'll bring up the switch hitting Ben Zobrist. Pinch hit for the pitcher. Took some off. And counts 0-1. Ouch. 4 for 5 and a home run. Hope we drift back to the mean here. One pitch. 2 outs.
Boy, an excellent job so far by Michael Lorenzen. Think with me for a second here. Let's just say that down the road the Reds decide to trade Matt Harvey. He puts a big hole in your rotation because he's been awfully good. Solid guy, gives you 5 or 6 innings every time out. Now the Reds are looking around for a spot to fill. You know, could it be Homer Bailey? Evidently Bailey's going to pitch tonight as a reliever down at Louisville. And that's the move that the Reds have wanted him to make. So you've got to find that spot somewhere or fill that spot from somewhere. And you either go down the minor leagues and find somebody, you take somebody out of the bullpen here, and would Michael Lorenzen potentially be the pitcher that they slot into that starting rotation if something like that happens?
2-out base hit by Almora. And that'll bring up the lefty Hayward. So we'll see if Riggleman makes the move here to Kyle Crockett.
What you like about Lorenzen in that situation is he's got 4 pitches, he throws strikes, he's durable, and he started before, although he was very good out of the Reds bullpen last year.
And he wants to do it, and he'll tell you his injury problems that he's had is the only thing that's held him back. He got injured as a starter each time, and then the way the season unfolded and the way he came back from injury, he came back in the bullpen.
Interesting to keep an eye on that.
They'll take the ball or give the ball to Jim Riggleman. High leverage situation for the lefty Kyle Crockett, as he will face Jason Hayward here. 2 outs, tying run at first base.
Well, anytime you have a pitcher who has more innings pitched, or more games in there, that is, than innings pitched. He's got 8 games and only 3 2/3 innings pitched. And you've got a specialist out there, and that's what Crockett is, coming in right here to face Hayward, the left-hander, with 2 outs.
And for Crockett, it's the first time that he will match up against Hayward.
Hayward is a different guy than the Reds saw in the beginning of the year. You could basically just throw the ball in the inner part of the plate and he was going to make an out, but he's getting his hands back much better, using his hands more, able to get at that inside pitch.
Almore at first base only has 1 steal in 3 attempts. Getting a pretty big lead over there, though. And a strike, and we've seen Crockett, even though his fastball doesn't have high velocity, he will challenge hitters inside and up and in, and he did right there.
Very good at that, actually, and I think sometimes the velocity of the pitch is way overrated when you compare the ability to pitch inside. You just have to get it in there.
Yep.
I mean, and pitching inside is something a lot of pitchers don't like to do, but pitching coaches will tell you they'll hold up a baseball bat and they'll put their fingers, make a circle around the handle and say, do you want to pitch to this part of the bat or do you want to pitch to this part of the bat? And of course, going back to the sweet spot.
All right. Here's a drive into right field. And this will get Almore to third.
Did not get this one inside enough and certainly didn't get it up enough. And that's the difference for Hayward, though. I mean, he's able to get to that pitch where earlier in the year he could not, and he belts out a line drive, and it'll be a 1-batter appearance for Kyle Crockett.
Jim Riggleman out again, takes the ball from Crockett. Here comes David Hernandez. Two one-run affairs in games 1 and 2 of this series. A 1-run game here And David Hernandez facing a 1st and 3rd and a 2-out situation. And the 3-batter Javier Baez at the plate.
Well, look at Baez's feet move when that pitch is on its way. I mean, he's just moving all over the place.
A 1 pitch, shows bunt, gets it down, foul. Safety squeeze here.
Oh, with 2 outs, there's no benefit to that. That's got to be a bunt for a base hit all the way, and it almost has to be a perfect
2
bunt.
outs.
Has to be almost a perfect bunt to get it done. Although Suarez is playing very deep and still doesn't believe he's going to do it. Of course, now 2 strikes. That will be second guessed because you put yourself into a 2-strike hole here by not getting that bunt down. Maybe not smart baseball.
Goes the runner from first, up the middle, base hit. Peraza can't get to it, and we're tied again. Here comes Hayward to the plate. Throw offline, and the Cubs have the lead. Oh my goodness, the Reds throwing it around, and Baez ends up at 3rd.
Boy, oh boy, what just happened right here? Ground ball hit hard through the middle past Peraza. And the ball just going to be lackadaisically thrown in there, and that's when the Cubs take advantage of it. The same way Billy Hamilton took advantage of a lackadaisical play by Albert Almora Jr., they pay him right back.
Reds fall asleep, and the Cubs make them pay. Hayward was running on the play.
Again, on an 0-2 pitch, that's a situation where Joe Madden sends the runner.
And all off of a ground ball that gets past the glove of Peraza. Third out of the inning, but major damage done. Cubs have retaken the lead. send the top of the order to the plate against a new pitcher. It's righty Carl Edwards Jr. You got to have a short memory in this game, and we'll see if the Reds can put what ended up being a gift go-ahead run behind them.
Now, the second time that he has pitched in this series, Edwards that is, just coming off the disabled list, activated on Friday, so that was his first after a stint on the DL with a shoulder problem. And I say 10-day, he has been out since late May on the disabled list. Those shoulder issues can be lingering.
Two balls and a strike to Peraza. Three and one. And he walked him. A 5-pitch walk to Peraza. Fourth walk given up by Cubs pitching today, and a very good bunter at the plate in Tucker Barnhart. We'll see how the Reds play this one.
You know, we've seen Riggleman bunt a lot, sacrifice that is, but he's used it a lot of times to play an add-on for a run, or when you can get a go-ahead run going. I'm not so sure he's going to do it here. One run down to try to tie the ball game up with a runner in scoring position.
There goes Peraza. Swing and a miss. Throw down, not nearly in time. Peraza had a terrific jump.
Actually, this formula is what Riggleman uses more often, which is have the runner at first base, steal second, and then bunt him over to third and only have one out. Make it very easy for Votto to try to drive him in. Sacrifice fly. Something like that.
17th steal of the season for Peraza.
He may end up on top of the stolen base lead in Les Ball Club.
Barnhart shows bunt. Gets it down. Edwards has a play at third and makes it.
The Cubs don't make it easy on you here, I can tell you, because you've got Rizzo charging hard from first. You've got Edwards, who's a very athletic fielding pitcher. And he covers the bunt, turns, fires. Not a tag, or it's a tag play, not a force play. And they get him.
Boy, oh boy. And here comes Joe Madden. The lefty Votto coming up. He's had the lefty Wilson warming up. Justin Wilson will come into this game. will be performing a live concert from the field on Saturday, July 28th. Everyone with a ticket to the Reds game will have a chance to enjoy the show from Walk the Moon. For tickets, visit reds.com/concerts. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Tying run at first base. Votto v. Justin Wilson. .95 right at the knees.
Well, Wilson's been around a while. He broke in with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's had 6 complete seasons in the major leagues. This is game number 379 for him, and he's seen Votto before because he did a lot of his work in Pittsburgh early on.
Tough matchup for Votto. Check swing and a strike. Dilson Herrera is the pinch runner at first base for Barnhart. And this is his Reds debut.
In the dugout.
Votto stays alive. Herrera called up from AAA on Friday for the day game. He was one of the players that came over from the Mets in the Jay Bruce trade. Has battled shoulder injuries and has finally worked his way to the big club. Not his major league debut. Time with the Mets, but his Reds debut here as a pinch runner. Two and two to Votto. Strike three called.
Votto's not going to like that, but he maybe feels that it was high enough. Looked like it was at the lower end of the zone. We'll take another look. Looked like it had a little cut action on it.
Joe Madden working that bullpen will make yet another pitching change. Here comes the sidewinding Steve Cishek. 2 outs and a runner on first base.
You know, what we were talking about in between innings, Jim, was that, you know, when you're the Cubs and you're a big payroll team, you can call on a guy like Cishek. In this situation, really only to get 1 batter out. And here's a guy that's got 123 saves in his major league career. So he's got some experience out there. You're not calling on some guy you just brought up out of AAA, but he goes ahead and hits Suarez with the first pitch.
That'll advance the tying run to second base, and Scooter Gennett coming to the plate. And that one caught a piece of Contreras, and that'll bring out that athletic trainer.
Well, he tried to wave the trainer off, say, hey, I'm okay here, let's not delay the game, and seems to be okay.
So not what Joe Madden was looking for. Now he's got a righty-lefty situation. Tying run at second base. Scooter Gennett at the plate. Although Gennett is 0 for 3 in his career matchups versus Cishek. Lefties hitting just .209 off of Cishek this season. One. Not under it. Hayward having trouble, finds it. And the Reds will strand 2. By Ray St. Clair Roofing, as we mentioned earlier. It will emanate live from Cleveland. Battle for the Ohio Cup begins. DeSclafani gets Clevenger. Romano gets Trevor Bauer. Tyler Mahle against Carlos Carrasco. Reds live at 6:30 each night. 3-night games.
Always a fun series to watch.
David Hernandez still on the hill for the Reds. Kurt Casale behind the plate. He will bat in the 8th spot. Oh, 0-2 to Contreras. 1 out. And that'll bring up Kyle Schwarber. Joe Madden uses 3 pitchers in the 8th. And they get through it unscathed, stranding 2. And right now he has his closer warming up, Brandon Morrow. No, says Adrian Johnson. And the count's 2-1 to Schwarber. Down goes Schwarber. 2 outs in the inning. Reds fans, come on down to Great American Ballpark on Saturday, August 4th for the Zach Brown Band Down the Rabbit Hole Tour featuring Leon Bridges. Get your tickets at reds.com/Zach Brown Band. Two-out batter Ian Happ. You're looking ahead to the 9th for the Reds. Duvall, Winker, Casale. That played perfectly. Raza, a little Olay action, and 3 up, 3 down for Hernandez in the 8th. Reds need a run at least. honoring Adam Dunn, Fred Norman, and Dave Bristol. First 20,000 will also get a Reds cap presented by Fox Sports Ohio. Get your tickets for as low as $12. Visit Reds.com. Ian Happ will move from third base to left field for the Cubs. And at third base, David Bodie has entered the game. He is at third. And the new pitcher is Brandon Morrow.
And he's a veteran pitcher, but really not so much to being a closer. When he first broke into the major leagues back in 2007 and 8 with Seattle, he was used as a short reliever and picked up some saves. But the majority of his saves in his big league career have come this year. 20 for 21 and save opportunities here with the Cubs.
First pitch to Adam Duvall, in for a strike. Long drive. Left field. Has Duvall tied it? He has. Oh, a big boy shot way up into the bleachers. And we are tied.
I mean, you talk about the emotional roller coaster that the fans here at Wrigley have lived today. Morrow trying to sneak a fastball right by Duvall. Nice short to the impact part of the zone swing. And just like that, 5 apiece.
14th home run of the season for Duvall. RBI number 55. And it comes at a huge time. I had mentioned last half inning that Kurt Casale was due up third in this inning. He actually entered the game in the 2 spot. So the Reds have Scott Schebler on deck. And Morrow throws it to the screen. Scoops and fires one out. We saw a rarity, that home run by Duvall. It's the first home run by a righty batter off of Morrow since 2015.
Wow.
He had to be the most surprised guy in the park. And here's Schebler. No balls and 2 strikes to Schebler. Iglesias and Hughes warming up for the Reds. One-two to Schebler. 2-2. Back and forth affair here at Wrigley. Cubs at a 2-0 lead. Reds had a 3-2 lead. Game was tied at 3 as Schebler punches it the other way, and the go-ahead run on first base.
Well, you know, the old saying that if you're going to pitch him away, you better play him away. Cubs had a shift on for Schebler to pull, which he does on the ground a lot. But he takes that high pitch, takes it the other way, and the go-ahead run now on first base.
And the batter's Billy Hamilton. This game was tied at 3. The Reds had a 4-3 lead. Cubs had a 5-4 lead. And now tied at 5.
Well, Hamilton has had one terrific series here in Chicago this weekend. On base twice today, 4 times yesterday. Three hits on Friday. Not this time.
2 outs. And here comes Jose Peraza. Good day so far for Jose. 2 for 3. And a walk.
May not sound like much, but this is where a secondary lead on the part of Scott Schebler at first base can really make a difference. If Peraza hits a gapper right here, and they're giving him the left center field gap. You know, a good secondary lead down here will give you a chance to score from first base. The problem with too big of a secondary lead against the Cubs is that Wilson Contreras loves the back pick, which is throwing down to first base, trying to pick the runner off. Delayed steal.
Pick the pocket of the Cubs, and now the go-ahead run at second.
You know, the whole idea of a delayed steal is that the runner gets his normal lead off the base, first base, and then bounces 3 times and then takes off. And the idea is, you see him bounce right there, that you're actually stealing the base on the infielder who puts his head down for just a second after the ball gets by the hitter. So you're not stealing it on the pitcher, you're really not stealing it on the catcher, but you're trying to catch the infield napping.
I'm sure Peraza liked that low strike call. Counts 1-2. Peraza stays alive. Two and two. Two-two pitch. Strike 3. But Adam Duvall ties it. 5-5 game. save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Toyota. For over 30 offers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Bottom of the ninth. On the line. 5-5 game. And Jared Hughes on the mound for the Reds. And he will face Addison Russell here. And the first pitch misses outside and low. Scott Schebler stays in the game. He's in right. One-two pitch. Yet another full count. Hughes took the loss here yesterday. He worked an inning, 2 hits, and a run. Shark out 2. Down goes Russell. Big pitch by Hughes.
He tried to really just not get too fine with that sinker, that you start at the knees, and sometimes if the hitter lets it go, it goes down below the zone. He said, hey, here it is. I'm not walking you to start this inning off.
And David Bodie will take his first at bat of the game. First pitch swinging, and in between Jeanette and Votto.
Yeah, you get leaned on a little bit here, Jared Hughes. Going back to last Sunday, these are the number of pitches that he has thrown this week. Sunday and Monday heavily used, 27 on Wednesday and 14 yesterday. I would imagine that the one he's remembering though yesterday is that ground ball that went right back to him on the mound and clipped off of his glove. And that really opened the floodgates for the Cubs.
And the ball gets past Casale, and the winning run will be in scoring position.
Never really gave Casale a chance right there. That ball was so far wide.
Goes down as a wild pitch. Foul ball evens the count at 1-1.
This is a situation where if you're an infielder out there right now, you are diving and stopping any ball you possibly can get to. The belly play is in force.
Fifth pitcher of the afternoon for Jim Riggleman. Hughes ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base hit left field. They're going to hold the runner at third. And the winning run 90 feet away.
Yeah, the ball hit so solidly by Almora Jr. that even anticipating a base hit right here, the runner couldn't score. I mean, that got out to Adam Duvall like right now.
And here comes Jim Riggleman. And this looks like a strategy meeting and not removing the pitcher.
A lot of things the Reds could do right here. I mean, you're wondering, all right, if you fall behind in the count, are we going to intentionally walk Jason Hayward and then try to pitch to Javier Baez with the bases loaded? That way you set up a force play at the plate. You know, you've got the winning run at third base. You've got to bring the outfield in. We showed you a graphic earlier of where the sacrifice fly line is. Normally that doesn't mean a lot, but in this situation, it means everything. How far you play your outfielders from home plate right here, so that when Jason Hayward, if he were to loft the ball into the air, are all of your outfielders shallow enough to be able to throw out the runner at home? Right now, Duvall is not shallow enough. Billy Hamilton might be. I'm not so sure about the right fielder, Jesse Winker. I think he's too deep. Make that Shebler.
There goes the runner from first. Hayward swings. Bono comes to the plate. And back to third base is Bodie.
Now, Bono had no choice right there. He had to make sure that he ran the runner back to third.
And once again, Joe Madden running the runner from first base to stay out of the double play.
Madden has done that in every game in this series, at least once, and it's worked out for him every time. Not one time have we seen when he runs a runner who normally isn't a stolen base guy. Now, Almora can run. He's a center fielder. But we haven't seen a swing and a miss. So every time it's worked out for him. Now the Reds are going to go with a 6-man infield.
And Duvall is going to need a glove, an infield glove. He'll get it. So Hamilton will move over in left center field. Shebler in right center field. Duvall will play up the middle. On the left-hand side against the right-handed hitting Javier Baez. Quite the situation. Bases loaded, 1 out. Baez swinging out of his shoes. The 0-1. Tapped, foul.
Well, 2 out of control swings by Javier Baez. You know, maybe looking up and seeing 6 infielders in the infield in front of him there, that kind of gets into his head a little bit. Thinks he's got to swing harder to get get the ball through the infield. See if Hughes can't tease him into a swing and a miss on the outer part of the plate.
Ground ball right side. Jeanette will come to the plate. Casale with the scoop. No, he bobbled it, but gets the out. Boy, it looked like he bobbled it momentarily, but punching him out is Trip Gibson. And Madden's going to look at this one. He wants them to go under the headsets. It looked like Casale ever so slightly bobbled the baseball.
And if he bobbled it or not, well, we're going to take a look. But, man, what a terrific pick. You know, one of the other things that they'll be looking at in the official review is whether his foot was on home plate in contact when he actually had the ball in his glove.
And they'll take their time on this one. This one will decide the game. Trip Gibson on the headsets. Crew chief Brian Gorman back to New York. And the game riding on this one. Nice pick either way by Casale.
You know, the interesting thing, Jim, is that there's a black. Well, let's find out what goes on here.
And they called him out.
They're going to uphold the out.
Paul was confirmed officially. What a huge out. And now the Reds will go back to a 3-out field defense with Duvall back in left field. First pitch to Anthony Rizzo. Here it comes. A 1 pitch. Into center field. Hamilton has it. And how about Jared Hughes? The Reds get out of the ninth, and we will go to inning number 10. Been quite the series here at Wrigley this weekend, so why not decide it in extras? Reds 5-5 in extra innings this season. The Cubs an even 4-4. And on the mound with Victor Caratini into the game at first base, Anthony Rizzo out of this game. And the new pitcher is the former Red, Luke Farrell. It's the second time we'll see Farrell in this series. He worked an inning and a third in game 1 here on Friday. Gave up a hit, no runs. It'll be Kurt Casale, Joey Votto, Eugenio Suarez here in the 10th. First pitch strike to Casale. One pitch. Check swing, and it got bat and perhaps hand. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. And here's Joey Votto. Two outs. And the two-out batter will be Eugenio Suarez. Two for 3 day for Suarez, including that big 2-run home run.
Boy, Farrell out there pumping strikes. After Luke Farrell, the Cubs are in tough shape in their bullpen. They've got Randy Rosario. He pitched yesterday. I'm not sure if he's available or not. The only other pitcher they have in their bullpen is James Norwood. Young man they just called up today. He would be making his major league debut.
Strike 3 called. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Luke Farrell. We go to the bottom of the 10th.
New pitcher now for the Reds is Jackson Stevens. 15th game for the right-hander, the young man that last pitched against the Chicago White Sox on the 3rd. And having a pretty good year. Got roughed up a little bit numbers-wise in that ball game, but the earned runs not counting. And Stevens and Tanner Rainey and Amir Garrett, the last 3 available for Jim Riggleman. Although Raisel Iglesias is available, but probably not available to pitch.
And he will get Contreras, Schwarber, and Happ. Will Jackson Stevens.
Boy, did the Cubs ever spoil an opportunity in the last inning.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dancing a tightrope was Jared Hughes to get out of the 9th with bases loaded, 1 out. And now Jackson Stevens.
Gotta tell you, whoever wins this game, it has been a terrific weekend of baseball. 3 exciting games.
Right down to the wire.
Yep.
Well, in this game in particular, the mental mistakes have made a huge difference.
Three balls and a strike. Stevens needs a strike. And they walked him. Leadoff walk in the bottom of the 10th. Fourth walk of the afternoon surrendered by Reds pitching. One of the 3 prior did score. That happened in the 2nd. And it was the guy at the plate, Schwarber. So this is Caratini, my bad. Caratini shows bunt again, a pitch out, nothing doing.
Well, Victor Caratini has never had a sacrifice bunt at the major league level. He has had 1 in his professional career in nearly 1,800 at bats.
This one will slice out of play. Bird's eye view. Ball gets away from Casale, and moving on to second base is Contreras. So a walk by Stevens and a wild pitch. Two and two to Caratini. Full count. Count holds at 3-2. Swing and a miss. First out of the inning.
Boy, that's a key way to get a strikeout right here when Caratini's simply trying to get that runner over to third base. He chases the pitch a little bit up and out of the strike zone. Good mustard on it for Jackson Stevens and gets a much needed pick-me-up punch out.
Stevens hasn't pitched since Tuesday, and that was an extra inning affair as well, when the Reds gave up 4 runs in the top of the 12th to the White Sox, and they were 4 unearned runs as Reds committed 2 errors in the inning, but it was Stevens on the mound when it happened. And Jim Riggleman's out of the dugout. He's going to jog out, talk strategy.
You know what was odd about that game by Jackson Stevens last time he pitched was that he walked 3 batters. Now, he's been in 15 games, including this one. And prior to this game, he had walked only 5 batters all year long, and 3 of them came in his last outing. So he had a little bit of temporary wildness. He came back to get the runner, or the hitter Caratini here, and now they're going to walk Happ to set up a force play.
That'll bring to the plate Addison Russell.
Now, even though Russell hits the ball on the ground a lot, he's a tough guy to double up. Very quick down the line.
One-0 pitch. Votto on the squibber, take it himself. Oh, he bobbled it, but got the out. Bobbled it on the exchange. Second and third, 2 outs.
Now, Joe Madden is going to ask for an umpire review right here, I believe, right? Or is this a manager's review?
Well, they lost their previous challenge. This would have to be a crew chief review.
The crowd here reacting to what they see on the big screen on the scoreboard. And the Wrigley Field faithful feel that Votto bobbled the ball, and he did. They're going to call him safe. Had it in his glove. Tried to get his hand on the ball so he could possibly make a throw in case the runner was going home. And he bobbled it. And we'll see it again right here. Well, that's just sloppy baseball.
E3 on the play. Bases loaded, 1 out. David Bodie at the plate.
So now basically the same situation that the Reds were facing last inning. This time Jim Riggleman decides not to go with a 6-man infield, but you got to bring the outfielders in. Duvall is playing too deep. Schebler is finally in enough. Still Duvall is way too deep. His arms are up right here, Adam Duvall is, and now they're finally got his attention. They're going to bring him in. Do you want me in the infield? So he's coming into the infield. They'll give him an infielder's glove.
We're living dangerously, delivering a pitch to Bodie and not in the defensive alignment that you want.
Yeah, just a little moment of indecision there on the part of the Reds. I wonder if Jim Riggleman has ever had to do this in back-to-back innings, where you bring the infield in and make it a 6-man infield. Winker's going to left. Or Schebler's going to left.
Yeah, they flip-flopped him this time. Hamilton in right center field, Schebler in left center field.
Boy, a fearless fastball right in on the hands. Great pitch by Stevens.
So 3 defenders on the left side. Jeanette and Votto on the right side. Schebler left center, Hamilton right center. Bases loaded, 1 out, game on the line. Two and one. Two and two. $38,000 plus, and that guy's a lonely guy. Hoping that Jackson Stevens can score him out of this one. 2-2 pitch. Well, you can't get bigger than this next pitch. Nowhere to put Bodie. The winning run is 90 feet away. In the winning run. (6-5) is your final as the Cubs take the rubber game of 3 in 10. Reds Live postgame is coming up next.